Hi, this is Jen Bueller, and welcome to DIY Anyone. Today, I am participating in a opportunity that Sonja from Domestic Diva DIY has presented, and it's a fall challenge where we can just basically make anything we want to make, and no particular budget, anything like that at all. So, as you can see, I have a tiered tray here. Well, the real story is that I tried my best to be able to upload to the tiered tray challenge that she had yesterday, and unfortunately, I'm just new enough that I was not successful. So forgive me if this isn't appropriate, but I'm thinking this is still okay because it's still definitely fall. So as you can see, I've got my tiered tray here. And one thing I'd like to point out about the tiered tray in particular is I use the burner covers from Dollar Tree, and they are really flimsy. So one thing I'm going to have to really watch as I build this tiered tray, is to make sure that everything's balanced so that it doesn't topple. Then you can see I used antique wax, Waverly's antique wax, to highlight the areas of the candlesticks, and then I used E6000 to hold things together, and then I used the natural colored beads on the top. Initially, I did record this live, and then I had to change it up, so forgive me as I may not match exactly, but that's where I'm kind of showing you how that the burner cover is pretty flimsy. So I might have been better off to have done it to flip it over and to have used it the other direction, but hey, we got what we have here. And it was my first tiered tray, and it was fun to make. So what I'll be doing here is I pulled up a bunch of fall items that I have, and I certainly have a lot more because I'm just been shopping at Dollar Tree. This is my first time to really shop there this season, and boy, what a bunch of cool stuff. So I just kind of trying to initially offset and make it where I have something with equal weight on either side. So I've got the riser on the one side and then the Dollar Tree pumpkin on the other. And the little shelf sitters, those cute little things, I got those at Hobby Lobby last season at the end of the season when they were 90% off, as we all, buy at the end of the season and get the best deal, right? And then here's a pumpkin that has a little clip on it, and I don't see any reason to take the clip off because I can use it just as is. Have a pine cone there, gonna toss the pine cone on there. And then in particular, I'd like to show you with this, sorry that the camera didn't really focus well, but I put on the ribs of this pumpkin, the cork from Dollar Tree. And I just cut the little skinny pieces to go in there, and then set them on between the ribs of in the ribs of the pumpkin. And the next day afterwards, I wanted to see, did it all stick? Did it fall off? What exactly happened? And several of the at the top, before I had put the stem on, several of them at the top had popped up. What I'm showing you there, and I apologize that this wasn't focusing. I'm not sure why, because I did have my camera on autofocus. But anyway, there were several of the little pieces that had popped up of cork. And so then once you put the top, the jute twine on there, then it's fine. And then on the bottom, there were a couple that had broken, but nothing really had happened there, and you had the pressure of the pumpkin just sitting on the ground. And I just thought that was just a cute way to accent that. Then also, too, I did the same thing on a velvet pumpkin, that white velvet pumpkin. Put the cork in the ribs and just cut it really thin, peeled it off, and you do have to be careful with it because if you pull on it, it will break. And then I pulled off the stem, put the little cork pieces underneath there, and they stuck beautifully. The velvet pumpkins had zero problems holding on to the cork. So that was kind of a neat thing that I hadn't seen anybody do yet, and I was kind of excited to think of that. So then Holly at Hot Humble Pie had taken one of these signs from Dollar Tree that had the love on one side, and then she put fall on the other. And so I kind of did my own adaptation of that, but that was where I got the idea from that, just the inspiration, and did my own version of that, and I think it turned out real cute. Now the little letters, the wood letters from fall, I got from Wish. And I have to tell you, I wish the deals with Wish were better. I have a video that I am working on to tell you all the comparisons, because there's some things on Wish that were actually amazing. And there's some that were like, oh my goodness, how did I fall for that? Here I just have I'm telling you now about the pip berries, and you all have seen the pip berries that are in little garlands at Dollar Tree. And this particular spray was from Hobby Lobby. Well, what I'd like to share with you is that there was a lady who was just showing pictures of her house, and she was talking about Pip Berry Farm. And you can Google it and see, and it's a place that makes garlands and candle rings, and they have all kinds of colors. And I purchased quite a bit of that. I'm working on a comparison pricing for what the garland would cost versus Dollar Tree, and to see, is it worth it? And sometimes I think to have the choice of the different colors does make it where you're, willing to pay a few extra dollars. So the Pip Berry Farm. So that is, I'll have the link to the company down in the description box. I don't get any benefit from that. I'm just referring them because it's a cool product, and I think they're really nice. Here, I picked up some wheat. Now, my son, who's a police officer, informed me that if you take wheat from a field without permission, it's actually a crime. And so he said, though, but if it's outside the field, that's fine. Or if the field has already been harvested, and this is wheat that is laying down, has been basically crushed, if you will, not crushed, but it was not harvested, then you're okay to take that. And that's what all this is, this wheat that I have. You'll see in the video that my husband and I went and got a bin full of wheat, and you can see